Baba wewe nipe malia, mama wewe nipe malia, nikamuoe mwana, toto yeye aningoja, toto yeye aningoja, ananingoja deko mama yeye. Baba wewe nipe malia, mama wewe nipe malia, nikamuoe mwana, toto yeye aningoja, toto yeye aningoja, ananingoja jediko mama So my stories. Why I'm playing this style like that? This is called freestyle. It's originally from the coast there. It's Mijikenda style. Viva are the establishers of this style, and Harrison Siwale. Anyway, Harrison Siwale came on Jamhuri Jazz, but Harrison Siwale too knows who Viva were. Anyway, those are long times ago. And my friend Saidi Bandika, a really great guitar player in Mombasa, who I played with. He played rhythm in my band too before. Indian Paradise. And so, Harrison Siwale, who used to play with Jamhuri Jazz band, this band I'm talking, this is a monster band. I'm not talking about me. I was just like little nothing, Winnie, not little boy, no band. My band was nothing. But he was an established musician. The band was established, and they had come from Tanzania and settled in Kenya, in Mombasa. My childhood, when I was getting into music now, before even I played a string, those were the times when my cousins were practicing, and I used to go and take their guitars. I was a roadie for my cousins. But they too used to talk about this band and used to play in that place called Kariba Bar. And so I went there, but I can't go inside. There's a wall, and they planted bougainvillea flowers there, and so we kids cannot climb the wall, but we still climbed the wall, man, and went up there and look inside what's going on, because it's an open, space. There's the house, the house, and then there's an open ring space out it, and that's where the band plays from the bar. So the waiters will go inside the bar in the house and go and get drinks and come out here in the opening, was there's like a huge garden place, but fenced, and these bougainvillea trees, they have thorns, sharp thorns, so they put them there so that we can't climb, but we still broke those thorns. We know how to cut them out, and we climbed the trees, and we looked inside what's going on. And the first time I saw this guy, man, playing that guitar, wow! See, remember, I only used my eyes. That time, I used my eyes to just to look, and my ears, of course, to listen to what was going on. I see this guy, man, he had a very pretty rhythm guitar, man. It was, in fact, it was white, like this one. Sorry, I gotta. Harrison Siwale had a nice rhythm guitar, man. It looked very closely to this one. And when he sits there, he didn't like playing guitar standing. And he would stand like 2 minutes, and then he would sit. He had a chair, and he would sit down, man, and listen to that bullshit which is gonna come out from this guitar, man. He played that guitar. The rhythm. His rhythm was majestic. I don't know how to even to explain it. His rhythm carried the music. His rhythm made you dance. Gives you the feeling. And many people went to see this group because they had that good rhythm guitar player. He was a legend, and the singer, who was Yusuf Mohando. Now, this is a very big story. Yusuf Mohando too, who sang for that group. I came and played with him. He sang for us in 9 Stars Orchestra with Professor Naaman back home in Kenya. That was in my journey of music. So, but that time I hadn't played with these guys at all. I am just a little kid interested in music, and mine was to study by eyes and by listening, by watching and listening. And whenever there's anything concerning music, I'll go and spy if there's a band or something. So, what happened was, Harrison Siwale, at a certain time, he came and managed me to another band with another guy called Nijo and Joliba, and Papa Kwanda, Mashos, and Faume. So we were like 6 piece in our band, which was called Super Kales, and we played a lot of nice Afropop music. We had a club where we used to play in Mombasa, in a place called Ziwani. So And then at a certain time, Harrison Siwale came and left the group, left us, because he had some problems, I don't know, whatever he was doing. And then we continued. He showed us another guy. In fact, before he left, he said, I know another guy's name is Kiman, he's got musical instruments. Oh, so Kiman gave us the musical equipment, so and we worked with him. But at a certain time, I didn't like to work with him because he was trying to take over the everything about the band and everything, and he only owned the instruments. You are not supposed to be trying to take over the band, and this is the problem in Kenya at the time when we were growing up there, because I told you I have passed through good hands and I've experienced in music. There are these other people who have got musical instruments, and when they give musical instruments to the musicians, then they try to become the bosses. No, you're not the boss. You cannot boss me when I'm the one who's creating music. I'm only using your equipment. I pay you for the rental. Stay the F out of here. I'm a revolutionist. That's who I am, and I'm so right now. I'm very afraid if I go to Kenya, in my own country, people are not going to like me that much, especially politicians, because I see the light. I have the light, and I know things. And when you know things, sometimes and speak the truth, people don't like it. But the truth is the truth, because you can never, remember, you can never lie and live in darkness. Truth is like a light, and everywhere you'll be clean, and that will stand for you. And so I continued playing music. So Kimani, after we left Kimani, that group Supercales, that was the end of it, because he had a lot of other bad things that I didn't like at all. Anyway, after that, that's then later it became the beginning of me going back home, and then later I joined Banazeta, and that's where Rocky used to run away and hide himself for a long time. People could Rocky, he doesn't come. I played lead guitar and he was amazed. So I played with them. Then there was politics in the band, and the band broke. So me, Philip Junga, Joliba, we four left Banazeta and created that. We three, Joliba and Philip Junga and me, we were three. We left the Banazeta and we went and created Zeta Success. How do you create great Zeta Success? The band was using half of the equipment belonged to a lady who was the boss. Her name was Mama Zeta. So what they were doing is they were just renting equipment from her, because she had bought those equipment, and then they used her name. But Philip knew that woman, and Philip called Mama Zeta, Philomena Zeta in Nairobi. She was a taekwonist anyway, this lady, great woman with a good heart. And she said, hey, I want you guys, Kenyan band, you are Kenyan citizens, and these guys haven't played me for a long time, so I know they're not doing good. You guys maybe do good. So we took the instrument. We had a FBT mixer, a huge electronic mixer with maybe 16 channels, with monitors, power amp, and it had very, very nice speakers. But our problem, we didn't have a bass amp, and we had a bass amp too. We didn't have 2 guitar amps, so that was our problem. And then we were trying to find a place to rent one day we were rehearsing, and then a guy came. His name is John. John Rastaman. He had dreads. This guy, he used to be a musician. He had just come from UK. He is a Kenyan, but he was in UK for a long time in education, in a university or something, and then he came back home. So, and when he came back home, he came with a few amps, maybe 2 or 3, and he wasn't very interested in playing Bob Marley's music most of the time. Yeah. He was not even playing African music. Himself, he's a Luhya, from the Luhya tribe, but he never played Luhya music, even no. And even he's talking, he doesn't talk like Africans. Anyway, John had developed a different tongue from us, and so we played with him, and he was singing Bob Marley's song, Still Around. So this John, and sometimes he will just interfere with us, like we wanna do other music, but he just wanna keep on doing his still up, and we've played like several times. So, okay, John, now we need to play other music. So at a certain time, he started getting drinking, and the club thought they wanted to bill us. We said, no, you can't bill us. We're gonna cut from his money. So his bill was taken out from his money. He became so angry, and we said, no more band, and we don't want you. No more, no band. And then Philip, we made a plan to go to Nairobi, our capital city, and Juma called his uncle, whose name is Juma Toto. Now remember, Juma Toto is a legend too in Kenya. He used to play he's one of the people who used to play Nairobi Times twisty music those days, when Kenya was start developing with music, and people like Fadhili William, there were out people like Braudi Kabaka. Those days, Nairobi Times, it was called Nairobi Times because that's when music that was coming in Nairobi. It was like a new thing, and wow, guys and girls and boys were just getting to it. My God, they were crazy about it. It was really magic in that time, during that time, as I was told, and the stories also which we read from magazines before. Anyway, this guy, Juma, now by that time he was just like a solo musician. Sometimes he will play small gigs, sometimes if he gets musician or not. And he was playing piano in a hotel, grill piano, in one of the hotels in Nairobi. So he managed us, Juma, and helped us to get some gigs in Nairobi. And sometimes Juma Toto came to perform with us. Juma Toto he used to be a friend of who, Tabule. Tabule, whenever he comes to Nairobi, who would they meet? Juma, because Juma, they were the heads of the musicians union in Kenya, and sometimes there was problem of these guys getting visas to come and perform in Kenya. So these guys were involved sort of in helping those groups come, and sometimes too they did invite them to come and perform in Nairobi. The organization invited them to come and perform in Nairobi, and so the relationship between Juma Toto and Tabule, Roshiro, and in fact Juma used to like to play music like Tabule too before. Anyway, and we lived in Dandora, Phase 4, close to Dandora Cinema, Bandara Cinema used to be a huge, it's a cinema, but it used to be a mall, like a mall also, and it's a place for music, and people will sit. It was so beautiful. On the other side, you go to the theater. On the other side, you go to the music, see the band, and there was a huge stage there. My God, and good equipment. So we performed. No, in fact, no, they didn't have equipment there. A band has to bring their own equipment there. So we played that, and it was very, very good. And we used to have very, very nice musical equipment when we played there. And the estate, is just around there. And this is one thing with Africa. During the weekend, when it's a music weekend, nobody's gonna complain. If they know they're living close to a place where there's restaurants and clubs when people play music, they're not gonna complain. Say, oh, that I don't know band. Oh, too much noise. No. If you feel too noise, why do you come and live here? Go and live somewhere else. So the bands will play. There are times without being interrupted. They'll play all, and nobody's going to say, oh, no, we don't want music here. No. Or if you don't want music, then move away, take your house out from there and go and build somewhere else. Because there's a club there, and there's a band that's going to be playing there. Or why are you going to make? Some other people even live opposite a wall, opposite a club which has music, and bands are playing inside there. On the other side is the house, they're sleeping until the morning. And life goes on, and African music, when I talk about African music does not end at midnight. All clubs don't end at midnight. All clubs are from 6 to 6. So that's how it is. And life there it is. And buses, maybe the buses will end maybe at a certain time, maybe. But I don't know if nowadays if they have night buses. I'm not sure about that. But you'll get taxis if you want. Maybe there's taxes nowadays. So, and in big cities, you will get taxi to take you home. Especially in Nairobi, when I used to play music sometimes, if there's no, or if I didn't want to take a matatu, they went up to 1 o'clock sometimes. But sometimes if I thought it was not a good hour to take a public vehicle, then I get into a taxi cab, drops me home, I go inside my home safely and sleep. And so I started music a long time ago. As I said, I lived in a tough seat when I was young by myself, and until I got to be playing with other bands, and also I did recordings. In Nairobi is a very, very big city. It's a big city and very lively. During my time, as I know, they have also new newspapers there. I knew a center where they had the national newspaper where they used to print them, and the headquarters of Nation magazine. I used to pass by there, and because I'm interested in news too also, and I look at what they had in their magazines, and I walked around, and so Kenya is very developed, but needs more knowledge and more people to invest, as it is. And that's the country where I was born there, and that's where I began music before I moved in the West, and now I live in Canada, and that's what I love it here too. So music is what I do. So get more friends and let's come here and talk and give you more stories. I remember one day I went to play in a town called Naivasha. Naivasha is up in the hills. It's very close to not far from Rift Valley. The valley famous valley, Rift Valley, up to Nakuru. where sometimes you see animals there, or you see a big lake, and there's flamingos over the place. That is the beauty. Welcome.